Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to a oddball NerdTube topic, not topic, where me and Major Rage have just been kind of talking behind the scenes for recently, and we discovered that we both like Dragon Ball. This is yet another genre that I absolutely love that not many other people on our current channel of NerdTube really do. So I always love to stop and take the opportunity to talk about Dragon Ball. And now that I have somebody to bounce off of, Major Rage, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Proud to be here as always. Thanks for having me on the channel once again.
Um, yeah, can you read my power level on that?
It is over 8,000.
Ah, true translation for the win. Um,
That's right. We're all about accuracy here at NerdTube.
yes, that's right. It's not over 9,000. No, no, no. Um, okay, so yeah, so we wanted to sit down and talk about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which is obviously a big topic that everybody's been talking about. It's the movie coming out. It was supposed to be coming out on the 22nd of April in Japan, but due to the Toei hack, it has been now delayed indefinitely. We are predicting it'll come out in June, because that's when I think it's like a graphic novel or the dramatization or whatever is coming out. There's something coming out at the end of June, so they figure that the movie's going to come out in earlier June. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just want to take this opportunity to sit down and talk with somebody else about Dragon Ball because I love me some Dragon Ball. So going into Dragon Ball Superhero. First off, what do you think of the name of the movie? I am severely underwhelmed by the name of the movie. I hate the name Dragon Ball Superhero. Even if they called
It's
it Dragon Ball Super Hero, it would have been better than Dragon Ball Superhero. Like it's just like why?
absolutely why I thought I was misreading it the first couple of times I saw it. I was like, surely this is supposed to be Dragon Ball Super Hero.
Yeah.
But whatever marketing head made the decision at Toei, they've made the decision. We're stuck with this lame title. Uh,
Yeah. And I
Gonna
mean,
hope for content that justifies the lame name.
yeah. Well, and Japan always has weird names because I know a lot of the original movies. Now, I grew up on the Toonami edits. I did, in the movies when they came out on VHS. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
um, I do own all the VHSs, by the way. Um,
Very nice.
oh yeah. Um, so maybe one day you'll get a tour of my Dragon Ball Torium, as I call it, which with all my pops and VHSs and everything like that. Um, but anyway, so enough, patting myself on the back. Um, but yeah, we, so yeah, with this name, it's like the Dragon Ball superhero movie or the Dragon Ball Z movies always had weird names. Like I think, and I might be wrong, but like the Broly one wasn't just Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. It was some BS one. The BoJack movie was something completely weird. I'd have to look up all the original translations of the
They
name.
were always two-part manga title style movie
Hmm.
titles. Legendary Space Pirate Bojack Attacks.
Yeah,
That's not the actual one, but an approximation. It was
I know.
always that side of title.
So it didn't surprise me, although, but then we go back to Dragon Ball Super Broly, and that's a pretty simple, straightforward name, which I really liked. I'm like, we know exactly what we're getting: a bunch of
Yep.
clotheslines, which we didn't see a lot of actually. I was surprised in the
Not
movie, but
enough clotheslines,
yeah,
no. A lot of hardcore action. I wore this scouter to the premiere.
nice. So yeah, the name kind of was. I was kind of like, what? Really? We're doing this? I did hear that Gohan was going to be the main character of this one, and I have some interesting thoughts on Gohan. I've always been a fan of adult Gohan. I have never been a fan of kid or teen Gohan. Yep, that's right. The fan base just erupted. I hated Kid Gohan. Teen Gohan was bearable. I didn't actually start liking Gohan until Buu Saga and Dragon Ball Super. Now,
Okay.
that's not to say that I don't appreciate the motions they went through and the stories that they went through to bring Gohan to his peak in the Cell Saga. But I feel like I just watching Gohan in the early stuff in the Saiyan saga and in the like the Namek saga and stuff like that. I really couldn't stand him. I couldn't. Teen Gohan was okay at the end once he got Super Saiyan 2, but that's because he just stopped being a little bitch finally. So I really don't. I do not like kid or teen Gohan as much. As I said, he kind of peaked at the end and he was good, but I enjoyed adult Gohan. Well, older Gohan, I get young adult Gohan. I don't know what you call him. He was in high school, like in the Buu saga, but when he was marked as the team leader of Universe 7 in the Universe Survival arc, I was very excited about that, and I think that they did him justice in the manga. Not so much in the show, except in the build up. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Gohan. So Major Rage, what are your thoughts on Gohan?
Um, Huge Gohan stan here. Uh, love his journey, his story from fearful, sheltered kid, forbidden from training by Chi Chi, all the way up to the savior who defeats Cell. They did him dirty. Uh, the high school stuff's great. Love Gohan in high school, but they did him dirty during the Cell saga. Or, so sorry, during the Boo fight, they did him very dirty. Uh, how would he ever drop a Patara? I'm just saying.
And you're right. As I said, now keep in mind, I that does not mean that I think that Akira Toriyama did him justice. As I said, I like the character of Adult Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was some great stuff in like when he became Ultimate Gohan, like total
Oh
badassery there.
yeah,
Um,
it's epic.
yeah. Even the part where he kind of faltered in the beginning of the Buu saga, where it's like, yeah, he's not as strong as he used to be, and he hasn't kept up with his training. But once he became Ultimate Gohan, in my opinion, yeah, I think they did do him dirty there. I agree with you there, where it's just like he dropped a Patara, he got absorbed. Like I was kind of like, oh, really? Like you're gonna do that to Gohan? But I felt like I felt like Boost like that end saga Buu Gohan did dirty. But then I felt like he bounced back in Dragon Ball Super, and I know people are
He did.
and I feel like he did because he again, and they kind of went through the same motions with him. He was a family man and everything like that. Then he got serious, and then he went into the Universe Survival arc. Truth be told, I love Android 17, but I felt like Gohan should have won that. I felt like Gohan should have been the last survivor in the Universe Survival arc. It was nice. It was, and spoilers for Dragon Ball Super if anyone hasn't watched it, but really, if you haven't by now, it's like what 4 years old now. Um,
Yeah.
I think that it should have been Gohan. I think Goku and Jiren should have been eliminated together, and then it should have come down to like Topo and I don't know, like just somebody else. Like we'd been focused on Goku and Jiren this entire time, and I feel like it should have came down to like two different people because Goku and Jiren just kind of like took each other out or something like that.
No, it
Um,
would have
go ahead.
been very interesting to see somebody, especially Gohan, get the win at the end there. I mean, we had that one ending during the Universe Survival arc that highlighted Goku and Gohan working together, and that almost to me foreshadowed a Gohan centric ending to the series, and I would have been very happy to see that. I feel like the whole progression of family man to fighter again and to team captain and encapsulating all those things of leadership, scholarship, and being a warrior into one cohesive identity would have made for one phenomenal fighter. And maybe we'll see something like that here in the upcoming movie.
Yeah, let's hope. But I was thinking about it. Okay, and I think the way that they should have been the Universe Survival arc should not have been, as I said, Goku and Jiren. I feel like all of our focus was on them, but I feel like they should have just shocked us and just they should have eliminated each other somehow, some weird zany way.
Yes.
But the ending in the manga. between Kefla and Gohan, because I don't know if you've read the manga of the Universe Survival arc, but in the Universe Survival arc in the manga, Gohan and Kefla actually eliminate each other. Like they go blow to blow, like Goku and Kefla did.
Yeah.
That was like not exactly like blow for blow, but that was the fight. That fight was done by Gohan in the Universe Survival arc, and they eliminated each other. So I felt like that would have been a good way to, and like, because as I said, Kale and Khalifa, they were building them up as these like better characters and like that. But as I said, Kale and Khalifa merging to Kefla, and then them becoming like the main threat, and other Saiyans becoming the main threat, and then Gohan getting the W on them. And as I said, they made Gohan earn every inch of that fight in the manga. Like they were blow for blow. Back on topic. I'm sorry. So in regards to Gohan, I feel like Gohan is like the character with no alternator. You know what I mean? Like
He's
every
all
time,
go or nothing.
yeah, like every time they turn him off, he putters out and he has no power. You know what I mean? And then they
Mhm.
gotta charge him back up and start him back up. And that's the problem with Gohan that I've always found. And that's not a Gohan problem, that's a writer's problem because they never know what to do with Gohan. They never know how to bring him in as just this confident fighter who is powerful. They always got to be like, oh, well, we got to build it up. Well, we've already done that twice at this point, you know.
Mhm.
So is that what we're doing in this movie? I hope not. I hope Gohan comes in and he's just like, hey, I'm ready to like, hey, they got Pan, I'm ready to fight. It's not like I have to unlock my power again and blah 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 blah. No, it needs to be they have my daughter, I'm going to get her. And he goes.
I would, as much as I don't want it to be a total copycat of Dead Zone, I would love to see Gohan bolt for his daughter the way Goku bolted for his son in Dead Zone.
Yeah. I mean, like no hesitation, no, we don't need any of that dramatization of, oh, am I powerful enough or whatever. No, just Gohan knows that he is one. And he even says in the anime, he's or no, I'm sorry, it might have been in the manga, or yeah, it was in the Moro arc because I think Piccolo even says he says you're the strongest person on the planet right now, and he knows he's like, oh, so Goku and Vegeta or my father and Vegeta are off world, so he knows he's the third strongest person on the planet,
Mhm.
so that's kind of why it's like I really feel like they just need to lean into that and not do this false start thing with Gohan like they've had in the past. Hopefully they're not doing that. I think this is supposed to be like a 90 to 100-minute movie. So, I mean,
Okay.
I don't think they have time for all that and to do what they normally do.
No.
What are your expectations out of this movie in general? I mean, I know we've got Pan, we've got Gohan, we've got Piccolo. We'll get into some more Piccolo here in a little bit. I definitely want to touch on him specifically.
Yes. Always down to talk about Big Green. Uh, I feel like I would like to see high quality choreography martial arts, kind of Dead Zone style, once again. Uh, since we're not talking the huge power levels of your main three Saiyans, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, maybe see something that focuses more on strategy, martial arts, prowess, kind of the things that are Gohan and Piccolo's bread and butter.
I would say Dead Zone absolutely, and World's Strongest. There was some really great
Oh,
choreography in World's
World's
Strongest.
Strongest, man, might be the best of the original movies.
Hmm, I thought Tree of Might was really good, but I was also a sucker for all the other like sub characters like Krillin and Yamcha and Tien, and so I know they all got Romple stomped, but I loved seeing them in action.
No, they got some good shine. They got good scenes. They did end up getting, beat
Beat,
down, but they had some shine.
yeah. Yeah, and I agree too. I think they need to really more focus on not the biggity bang boom like in Broly, where it's like, you know, every like power levels keep going up and up and up and
Yes,
transformations. Let's focus on something that looks good, martial arts and choreography that looks nice.
right.
Um, yeah, so let's get into Big Green, since he's going to be, let's say, the co-tagonist. You know, like he's like the
Mhm.
co-lead. Um, as it's been revealed in Jump, I think Jump Festa magazine, not Jump Festa. What is it called? Why am I drawing a blank? Just Jump, Shonen Jump. Got it. Shonen Jump magazine. It was revealed that Piccolo has a new form, and it is called Ultimate Piccolo. Um, I am one. Have you heard about that?
I have not heard about that.
Yes. Okay, so if here, I'm gonna take us off the screen here really quick. Look at this picture. So you see how he has like a yellow tint to him?
Mhm.
So that is going to, and actually, you know what I probably should have done? I probably should have just brought up the image, but um, Piccolo has a new form. It's more of a yellow hue, and he loses a lot of the lines in his arms. Not the muscle lines, but the like the
The
lines in between.
veins?
Yeah, no, like
Oh, those divider
yeah,
lines.
the divider lines in his
Okay,
arms.
yeah.
So he, yeah, so apparently, but it's official. It's called Ultimate Piccolo because it's the same translated word uh, from Ultimate Gohan. So they're calling it Ultimate Piccolo, and I am 1000% on board with this because I always hate it when Goku and Vegeta get all of these transformations and it's like exclusive to those two. Like
Mhm.
I I almost do want Gohan, and I know everybody wants Gohan to do his own thing, but it's like Gohan mastered God Ki essentially ish. Like that's what his ultimate form is. It's like a godly form, but he
Mhm.
mastered it before Goku and Vegeta did.
Yes,
I almost want Gohan to get Super Saiyan Blue and be like, huh, my ultimate form actually has more potential. You know what I mean? Like I want him to go to blue
that would be so cool. Yes.
and him be like, wow, actually I feel like my ultimate form is actually more, because I really want Gohan to separate himself. Because remember Vegeta. Vegeta, I think who did he do it with? There was somebody that he did a transformation on, and I think it was Super Saiyan. No, it wasn't Super Saiyan. Or I think, oh, no, it was Vegeta and Trunks. And Vegeta went Super Saiyan 2. No, I'm messing it up. But basically, what it was is I think Vegeta went a certain line. Somebody said, "Oh, well, why don't you go whatever level that Goku went?" And he said, "Huh, I don't need that level." And I think that's when he went Super Saiyan Blue in front of Trunks, if I'm remembering correctly, because Vegeta hadn't gone Super Saiyan 3. And
Mhm.
there's always
You're
been a
right. Yes, it's that scene.
yeah, and it's like there's never a canon, like if you count GT as canon or not. I'm not here to debate that, but
Oh, let's leave our hands off of that for now.
yeah,
That's
but I
yeah.
do I do like the fact that Vegeta hasn't really delved into Super Saiyan 3 only because I wouldn't care if he could do it. Like if he did it and he's just like, why would I bother with this form? The only reason why this form worked for Kakarot was because he was dead. Like so and he has Super Saiyan Red or Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. So it's like, why do I even bother with this? So I'm okay with him being able to do it, but then the canonists were like, oh well, GT. They said, yeah, okay. He skipped that transformation anyway. But I do. That's what I like about it is the fact that I really kind of wish that Gohan would go like blue and then just be like, and him discover blue. Like it's not that he is like he's already done it. Like him discover blue and go blue, and then he's like, huh, actually my ultimate form actually has more potential than even this form, and he just hasn't tapped into it yet. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like then he goes back down to ultimate form, and then he starts pushing himself to get higher in his ultimate form. That's kind of what I want for him, and I want him to kind of shrug off like blue is like this is actually not my bag. Like I can actually push myself beyond blue.
Come into his own more as a
Hmm.
character once again. The thing they tried to do at the end of the Cell Saga and then walked back on in the Boo Saga because of fan response and
Well,
editorial.
it's this because Ultimate Gohan is not let's be real, it's not an exclusive form to Gohan. It's
No,
nice, but with Gohan and Piccolo as a pairing with it, I think that works really well.
and Piccolo is he's a being that's connected with the deities.
Hmm.
He's fused with the former guardian of Earth. He recognizes the Kai beings like he did at the Tenkaichi Budokai
Hmm.
when Kaioshin first showed up.
Hmm.
It stands to follow that he could easily get one of these Kaioshin power ups like Gohan did. The ultimate form is a form of Kaioshin unlocked power.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't really need to see the dance.
Please, no, please don't show us the dance.
I guess it would be a gag if they did like not show us it, but like in a
A
flashback.
cutaway,
Yeah,
like a little
cutaway. Like
cutaway. Yes,
Gohan's like Piccolo, how did you get this power? And then it cuts away, and like the old Kai's doing the dance around Piccolo, and he's like, I trained really hard.
he's got the most angry, grumbly face on it, like on. Maybe he's even holding Pan Chan,
Yeah.
like he's babysitting Pan while he gets powered up.
Yeah, he's like sitting there with Pan, and then ooh, that's how Pan gets powered up. Like he's sitting there with Pan, and then he's doing the dance, and then both of them get powered up somehow.
That'd
I don't know.
explain a lot.
That would that'd be funny though. That would be a Toriyama thing to do. I feel like.
But see, that's the thing. I love that the humor's back. The humor
Yeah.
from the OG series being back is it makes super for me. But that's a topic for another day again.
Yeah. Well, we've got plenty of topics in Dragon Ball we can dive into. I'm all for doing Dragon Ball topics. I've been watching it for years, and following for years too. Um, okay, so as I said, what are your thoughts? Have you given your thoughts on Piccolo? Just new form in general. Do you want to see some new techniques? I'm kind of okay with just a power up and him using his old techniques, in a powered up form. I don't necessarily need some new special technique. I would love to see more tag moves out of Gohan and Piccolo, though.
Combination moves and new ways of using the old move set. I think that is in character for Gohan and Piccolo.
Hmm.
And I think that's what the fans want to see out of Gohan and Piccolo. I know that's what I want to see out of them too.
Yeah,
So hopefully Toei and Toriyama and Toyotaro deliver on that for us.
we'll see. As I,
We'll see
yeah.
indeed.
So talking about the villains, I mean, obviously Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, who are in the background of this stream, have been announced, and they've been all over the place. They're your stand-ins for Android 20 and 19, for 17 and 18. I mean, all these bad guy androids come in pairs, except for 16, which was in and of itself a very interesting character. That's a whole nother video we could talk about is
Yes,
16.
that'd
I
be
would love to
fun.
talk about 16. So anyway, what are your thoughts? We'll start with them, and then we'll go into the mystery main villain here in a minute. But like, what are your thoughts on Gamma 1 and Gamma 2? Like, are you impressed with them? Are you kind of meh about them, knowing they're not the main?
They are very meh. They are placeholder protagonists, very obviously. But that's okay. I like not knowing what the main antagonist is going to look like. I like the little bit of mystery there. Knowing they almost have a Jocko type appearance
Yeah, they
going
do.
a little
You're
bit.
right.
So maybe
Didn't
we'll
think of
see
that
some
until now. Yeah.
humor out of them. That would be nice. A little bit of oh, what are the two numbers from the Android 13? Is it 14 and
And
15?
15. Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of humor like them could be fun
So,
to
go ahead.
maybe lighten it up a little bit and make you more impressed by the actual power and evilness of the main antagonist via a little bit of comic relief out of the preliminary antagonists.
So the main question is, do you want Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 to survive and become like anti-heroes or like a part of the extended ensemble? I mean, I know we haven't met them yet, so it's hard for us to judge if we want to keep them around, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say absolutely not. The Dragon Ball continuum is so big right now, and
It
I
is.
I would rather them focus on the characters that we know and love, not because of nostalgia, but just because you've got so much there to work with and so much history there to work with. I don't,
Yes.
either that or Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 leave. Like they leave the planet. I don't want them around a lot. Like I don't want them to be a Broly that's just around and is looming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to show up at Bulma's next birthday party.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Uh, Our cast is already pretty full, as you said. There's a lot of wasted or untapped potential for storylines with most of the established cast that we have, that they just haven't got any love since Toriyama finished up whatever he was doing with them back in the day,
And
and
let's
they
be
just kind
real,
of
until he abandoned them, and then
he gets done with them and abandons them, and then all of a sudden they're like launch, and he's like, oh yeah, launch was a thing.
well,
I
it's funny.
should bring back launch.
It's funny because Toei remembers like these characters more than Toriyama does
You're
because like
right.
because
Yes.
I don't think Launch has even been in the manga since what early Dragon Ball maybe or Dragon Ball Z maybe
The
late Dragon
time
Ball.
she was in the bar watching the Saiyan fight in Z, that was
Or
the
was that in the
last time.
manga?
There, no, it's a scene that got cut out of the Funimation cut, but it's
Yeah.
in the Japanese cut. It's launch in a bar, blonde launch, and she's half in the bag watching the Saiyan fight broadcast before the cameras get blown out.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Toei remembers these characters way more than
Hmm.
actually Toriyama
Oh yeah, no,
and
that's the last
Toyotaro
time
does.
she's been there, but
Yeah,
Toei probably has a launch toy about to launch.
yeah, right. That's yeah. That's all we need is we need to we need them to make a toy of these people, and then they will get some shine because that's what this is all about is toy sales. Um, so yeah,
Merchandising.
yeah, merchandising. Ah, you and your Masako X. Yes, shout out to Masako X.
Oh
Best
man.
Goku voice. Don't at me. Um, okay, so we've Gamma One and Gamma. I mean, yeah, I either want them destroyed or and even if it's like the main protagonist kills them or antagonist, the
I
main
mean,
antagonist kills them. Like just in showing how brutally strong he is or she is, depending on the rumors you listen to with this movie. But
oh
I don't want
yes.
them around. I really don't. I don't need more characters.
See, if we don't see the big C show up in this, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 fusing is a very predictable
Hmm.
main antagonist
and it
outcome.
it even goes almost to copycat, well, reverse copycatting um Broly, because in that one Goku and Vegeta had to fuse to beat Broly. So
Hmm.
that's why it's like, okay, so now the antagonists have to now fuse to try to beat Gohan and Piccolo, more likely Gohan by the end of it.
Yeah,
um
I mean, they'll bench Piccolo somehow. He'll make some sort of big strategic decision that sidelines him from the fight,
which sucks because
or do a big protect Gohan moment, and we'll call back to the OG.
yeah. Yeah, I see. That's the kind of thing that I think has been overdone. They did it in the
I
Tournament of
would,
Power. They did
yeah,
it
I'd
like,
like to not see that again. I didn't like seeing it in the TOP. I feel like it cheapened the original moment.
yeah. Yeah, and I also feel like, well, yeah, but I also feel like in this, it's like, I mean, maybe if Gohan tells Piccolo, "Hey, I need you to step back while I handle this," and it's one on one, that I can understand because that's typical Saiyan behavior.
That'd be
Um,
pretty cool. It's always nice when you see Gohan let his Saiyan side show a little bit when he lets that come to the fore.
yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah. So as you said, the big C is one of the rumored main. Some kind of new version of Cell is rumored to be the main villain. I've also heard Android 21, which I have. I know it's a cardinal sin, and I haven't played fighters. Um, but she's very predominant in fighters. I'm not a fan anymore of 2D Dragon Ball fighting games. Like I mean, Xenoverse and Kakarot has kind of ruined me to 2D fighting Dragon Ball games because I always feel so limited in those 2D fighting games. Um,
I can see where you're coming from.
yeah, so I honestly I like the 3D fighting arenas, so fighters just does not appeal to me. It looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I love the animation. I love the look of it. but just the fighting and the story, I'm like, or not the story, the fighting and the gameplay. I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm done with 2D fighters. And I know people are going to tell me, oh, but you haven't, oh, but, play it. You'll love it. I promise. Blah,
No,
blah.
no, I'm not going to be that guy. I can see where you're coming from. Dragon Ball Z is about flying around, blast from a far distance.
Hmm.
There's lots of stuff that you can do in those Xenosaga type games that you can't do in fighters, and that those are very intrinsic to Dragon Ball things.
Hmm.
I get it. I don't care for the 3D arena type games, and I prefer fighters. So
Yay. It's okay. We can have opposing views. That's a
easy.
topic for another day. Man, we're
Ex-
like branching tons of topics off from this.
We'll have to go back and watch this one as notes.
Yeah, right. Um, so with it being so, with it possibly being Android 21, I hope it's not Android 21. I don't mind them debuting her here, but from what I've read about her, I kind of, I mean, if she's there, that's fine. But I don't want her to be the main villain. I get it; she's like a hybrid of like the Majin and everything like that. But at the same time, it's like they've done that in fighters. That's not a
Right.
surprise. That's
I
not a
would
surprise.
I would very much like to see something original
Yeah,
here, and very much hope that they don't pawn something out from a game that's what fighters is 5 years old
I
at
think
this
it's about
point.
5 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I between 21 and Cell, I prefer Cell, but I agree with you. I'd like to see something original, even if it's even if it's a hybrid of kind of like a upgrade of Cell, but not exactly Cell. Even if you use the same voice actor, I don't know. I this is muddy waters for me because I always want something original, but at the same time, you really run the risk of just just sandblasting the whole thing with, something because Broly as a villain was so much different, but yet somewhat the same as the Broly we know.
Mhm.
So in this one, it's like I almost want something different, but kind of familiar, just because I kind of like that Broly that we got. It was a different Broly, but it was still the same concept in which we were introduced to.
He was a berserker, but he had actual motivation, and there was there was an actually believable motivation,
Yeah.
and you know, I,
I
I
truly believe it was just like it spiraled out, like everything spiraled out of control. Like you can watch the whole fight and it's just like this is spiraling out of control.
mhm.
And when Frieza didn't call him back and his father didn't call him back, that's when it was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. you know?
Yeah. No, uh, that fight felt organic. The
Hmm.
fight didn't feel scripted.
Yeah. And it didn't feel drawn out either. It felt like it
No,
was,
it was what it needed to be.
yeah.
I
Well,
never felt anxious in the movie theater while I was watching it there in the theater, and I have bad anxiety and I get nervous and want to leave.
hmm,
But
hey,
I never felt that. The fight was keeping me entertained.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah. So I mean, I kind of want that with this. I don't. It's hard to say because what the Red Ribbon Army saga is one of my favorite sagas in the original Dragon Ball. Like
It's great.
you can sit there and talk to me, and and even the tournament that was technically involved in the Red Ribbon Army saga, the 22nd Tenkai. I can't say it. You know what I mean?
Tenkaichi Budokai.
Yes, yes. I couldn't say it. Sorry.
No,
Um,
it's a toughie.
yeah, and I haven't said it in so long because I just call it the Budokai tournament. You
Well,
know,
most folks do.
yeah. But that with Tien and everything like that, like that's my favorite tournament. The Red Ribbon Army saga is my favorite like saga because just like it's Dragon Ball, but it's like it's before things kind of got like power level centric. Like
Mhm.
even in the
It
Piccolo saga, it felt like it was power level centric because
it sets the stage.
for Z.
It's the perfect bridge between the adventure-centric early Dragon Ball and your flying and big beam attack,
Mhm.
late Dragon Ball, early Z stuff.
Yeah.
That Red Ribbon Army saga still got some great humor in
Mhm.
Colonel Blue. Uh, it might not have aged well these
Yeah.
days. What with the well, it's homophobic.
Yeah.
It's badly, but
But
that's
there, but I still feel like there was a lot of good in that saga. Like the
yes.
Muscle Tower was really. I felt Muscle Tower
Oh,
was really good.
Hachan or Ader,
Yeah.
he's great.
And even some of the off-brand stuff like not Silver. What was her name? Violet? Was it the
Yes,
Master Thief
Colonel
Violet?
Violet.
Yeah, Colonel Violet. Some of that stuff was even a little fun, and it was very nice because it's like, and I get it that the payoff at the end wasn't good because you got what is it, General Black who basically shot Red in the head and or Grand Admiral
Yeah,
Red, whatever his
yeah.
name was.
After that, Red betrayed him and left him for dead.
Yeah, like I get that the end was a little bit meh, like, but at the same time, the Red Ribbon Army saga for me was more of the journey. It wasn't the payoff.
Yes, and
Like Goku ran through that base in what, like half an episode and basically took everything out. So it was like, but he literally dissected an army in that.
yeah, that's epic to watch, and it was really great.
Hmm.
And like you said, that whole arc was about the journey and not the destination. And that's just shows how early Dragon Ball was still based in that journey to the West, uh, kind of Sun Wukong tradition.
Yeah, because now I feel like with the Red Ribbon Army, and there was a point I was get leading up to in this movie with the Red Ribbon Army. It's like none of the troops matter. None of that, like none of it. It's Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And if they're not powerful enough to beat Gohan and Piccolo, then it's, you know,
What's
and
in the basement,
yeah,
or they have to fuse.
yeah.
It's one or the other.
But this movie is definitely not going to be about the journey. It's going to be about and I still think it's going to be very story centric and good. But like, I feel like this one is going to be more of a Dragon Ball Z version of the Red Ribbon Army saga, where it's like, they don't really the soldiers and everything don't mean very much.
Right.
There's
Well,
not much dissecting of a military. It's more of a, we're just going to their main base in the beginning and settling things right then and there.
yeah, I mean, we haven't seen anything in any of the trailers of any sort of troops for Piccolo and Gohan to try to like mow through on their way up. So, I mean, maybe we'll have some other lieutenants before Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, maybe for more of a dead zone motif or a world's strongest motif,
Yeah.
something for at least we have an objective in Panchan.
Yeah. Um so what do you think about Pan? I mean, she's obviously a big part of this. I'm always a little worried about Pan because like in Dragon Ball Super, they already had her flying in space with like energy auras around her, and I'm like, really? Like already? Like they keep getting younger.
Okay, I can see where you're going with that, with the Super Saiyan bargain bin.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would not mind a rage moment with Pan like Gohan did back in the day. I
yes,
don't want her
that'd
to
be
hit Super
cool.
Saiyan because it's just like,
No, 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 that'd be awful. The flying, I get.
see,
The
I don't.
the power.
I feel like learning to fly and control ki has to be something you have to learn to do. And I get it, she's a natural, but at the same time, you still have to learn to do it. And I get it. Like I'm kind of hypocritical because earlier I said Saiyans seem to be visual learners, so if Pan sees it, she can probably do it. But controlling ki seems like it would be a bit different, and
No,
you
it
would need a more
seems like it
mature
needs
mind.
cognition,
Yeah,
like it needs premeditation, but at the
yeah,
same time, the power levels and energy seem to be passed on genetically based on how powerful the person is at the time. The Saiyan kids seem to get stronger as you get down the line because the parentage they are
they're stronger. Yeah. And I understand that.
Toriyama once said something about S cells that,
Yeah,
uh,
God. Yeah,
yeah,
midichlorians, you mean?
yeah, saying midichlorians. That's exactly what I thought when I heard about it too.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's that. No, that as I said, whether you're a Toriyama canonist or not, I if it sounds stupid and it's not like in any of the literature, I
then
don't take.
ignore it.
I
Yeah,
do ignore it until it's in the literature because Toriyama sometimes can't even remember his own character. Like I think he drew Trunks' hair blue because he forgot that it was blue. Like or that he forgot that it was purple. Like that's why Trunks' hair is blue right now. I've heard other theories, but that's the prevailing. I think that he said I forgot.
that seems in character. I'll buy it. I'll buy
Yeah.
it because I had no idea why his hair was blue now.
Well, here's the prevailing theory is that Bulma in the original manga, colored manga, her hair was purple, like on the
Mm-hmm.
covers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then it became blue not long after the manga was printed and everything like that. So what a lot of people said is, oh, well, in their teens, they're like Bulma's hair went from
The
purple to
Trunks
blue,
family's
and
hair lightens as they get
yes,
older.
and so it goes from purple to blue. That's a good in-universe theory, but the more believable one is that Toriyama just forgot that it was purple, and he didn't do it right when he sent the sketches over to them. It was in blue instead of purple.
I mean, it sounds like the inverse of the animation department only getting black and whites for Vegeta and Nappa and giving Vegeta the red
Red
tinted
hair.
hair.
I have that pop by the way. That red tinted oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
favorite Vegeta look, though.
I hate it, but I just like it's so rare. I'm just like, oh, I want it so bad. Vegeta looked terrible with red hair, at least in my opinion. Um, okay, so we've talked about the main villain. Anything else on Pan? I mean, I worry because I'm like I don't want her to go Super Saiyan by the end of this movie.
Yeah, no,
I
that would be terrible. I give them more credit than that. I mean, it would be cheesy enough if she
let's
were
just
to go ham and just beat somebody's ass like her daddy did before them, but I can see them taking it further and her getting off like combos or something, and that would be so cringe.
well, and I mean, if there's a Pan Super Saiyan toy to be sold,
You've spoken into existence, Cheeto. It might actually happen now. Don't put those
no,
sorts of things into the
the
universe.
movie, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen because the movie's already pretty much done. I think they said,
Yeah, it's drawn. It is what it is. I was
yeah,
just trying to be funny.
yeah. No, it's okay. I would have said the same thing. So the last bit I kind of wanted to talk about with this movie, unless there's anything else you want to add after, but Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. So it's been confirmed that the three of them are going to be in this movie. Do you want them to show up, obviously, like on Earth in the battlefield, or do you want it to be kind of like an off yonder training thing on Beerus's world with Broly?
I think it would be really cool if they were just training, and like maybe Whis and Beers were there checking it out, and Whis is like, "Oh, it seems that Gohan and Piccolo are in quite a bit of a pickle. Oh,
I love your Whis, by the way.
why, thank you, cousin Cheeto." But no, and just, hey, do you think we should go and help them out? No, let them handle it. They better be able to protect this planet once we're gone, or
Well,
something like that, and
I
just let them handle it for once. Don't steal the W.
I could see Vegeta doing that because honest and truly, I feel like Vegeta, and he will never admit this, but I think he is very, very proud of Gohan. Like
Yes.
I because I always go back to that one moment when Goku and Vegeta or when Goku and Gohan are fighting in the desert, in the wastelands, in the pre-tournament of Power Saga. Like, when they're like building everything up, and Gohan's just like he's balls to the wall. He's like, Dad, you better throw everything you have at me. And then that one moment where like Goku's going Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and then Gohan's going at him, and then Even Vegeta sitting there smiling because I think he's proud of Gohan. I mean, him and Gohan have had a really long road, and I don't think they acknowledge that enough because Vegeta's even said that your son has more potential than all of us, like all of us.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
I think he is really proud of Gohan, but he's like he doesn't feel like it's his place because he's obviously not his dad.
Right. But he's
But
always been hard on Gohan
mhm.
because he sees a lot in him. I mean, he only punches kids he really likes,
He always
like
punches.
Gohan and his son.
This is true. Yeah, he hasn't hit Goten yet. Nobody respects Goten.
Should they?
Not yet. He
Her
hasn't done
his
anything.
his mother respects him enough to beat him up.
Yeah, right. Well, so yeah, so I agree with you. I do not want Goku and Vegeta to show up. If they do, I want it to be like Whis takes them there and he puts them all in a bubble and says, "We are not to interfere." Now,
Check this out.
yeah,
See
check.
what they can actually do.
Yeah. And then basically we saying, "Look, I will let you intervene if the planet becomes no, see, I don't even want that because I don't want it to seem like there's a
That
fail safe button.
rewind again, like in the Resurrection F movie.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
any of that. So I do agree with you though. I don't want them to be, but I do want them to watch. And as I said, I would
Hmm.
love for them to expand on like Vegeta's because everybody's a father to everyone's a father to Gohan except for Goku. So I mean,
This is
except in
true.
this except in the Cell Saga, I think he was a decent dad in the Cell Saga. But
That I mean, yeah, there's a lot of emotion to infer in the year in the time chamber, and I think, well, if you want to talk about people injecting feeling there, Team Four Star actually put some plot there, man. Whew.
oh yeah, they did. No, that's a whole another conversation for another day. Team
How
Four Star
that
did a great job. Like they
definitive
infused.
version of the Cell Saga. Definitive version of the Cell Saga. I'll say it right here, right now. It's a video for another day, but I'll stand by it. Definitive version of the Cell Saga.
Yeah,
Team
I
Four
think they did
Star.
a really good job at like they are the MCU of like Dragon Ball. They merged the like
Yes.
comedy and heartfelt and good writing all into one.
No, you're absolutely correct. I love the analogy.
Yeah. So, um, if the MCU needed rewritten, so maybe it's like if the MCU rewrote or rewrote the DC EU. I don't know. Anyway, wouldn't that be amazing though if they took like like if Marvel Studios took the DCEU and like cut it into its own thing, but still used all the base material and like dubbed over the voices? I feel like that would be epically funny and it would be good.
It would be a quality increase for sure.
Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, but you are correct. I don't know. Are there any other topics with this movie that we want to dive into? We got about 5 minutes left, so um,
I I mean, we touched on everything that I can think of about it. I mean,
what do you just
we
really quick? What
talked
do you?
about how much, I mean, we talked about the Red Ribbon Saga. I felt like that needed to be talked about for sure.
Mhm.
I would like to see like a base raid again. That would be fun.
With Pan? I think Pan could. I mean, I feel like she's still like too young. She's like what 4 or 5 in this or something like that.
Yeah,
But
she's a little young to do what her grandpa did,
yeah,
but
but then again, her power level is so high apparently at this point that she can fly in space, which Goku couldn't do ever so
no,
far.
he had to be taught. But he also was low potential, low caste Saiyan warrior, and she is the daughter of the highest potential being the Vegeta ever saw, as far as Saiyan went. So
Yeah. I also find it funny that like the more fractions of a Saiyan blood you have in your system, the more potential you have. Like, isn't that weird? Like
a
full-blooded
little bit.
Saiyan, like the Goku and Vegeta, they've fought and strive for everything they got. Gohan half breed, well, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten half breeds, but even Vegeta has said that they have more potential than even them. And now like Pan's got like this super potential, but it's like she's like 1/4 of a Saiyan. Like it's just weird how like the delusion of Saiyan blood in their system increases their potential. It's just a weird thought.
Um, I guess you could say something for genetic diversity. Um, it, I mean, you could make an analogy of purebred dogs versus hybrid dogs. You end up having issues with a purebred dog. So you've got, genetic predispositions tying back into themselves. You could always make an argument for genetic diversity, but it's a big jump
Yeah.
from dogs to human analogs.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, I think that this was a great first time topic on Dragon Ball superhero, and Dragon Ball anything. I've obviously from this video we've already discovered several videos that maybe in the near future we can just kind of you know do some chit chatting about, which I'm always for. With all that being said, Major Rage, thank you very much for joining me for this. I'm very glad you reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's do something." And I said, "What? I kind of don't know." And then we kind of settled on Dragon Ball, and I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
I am always happy to talk about Dragon Ball. Thanks for letting me be here tonight, Cheeto. Uh, Great to be on the channel and talking with you. Thanks for
All right.
having me.
No problem. With that all being said, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Leave a comment below if you happen to be a Dragon Ball fan or if you know a Dragon Ball fan. Send this to them. Maybe they'll find some of our topic here interesting or some of our discussion. Leave a comment below, leave a like, and consider subscribing if you're not already to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you maybe kind of sort of maybe heard of into the new realm of Final Fantasy and Dragon Ball Z. Well, Dragon Ball, like the whole universe of it. We will catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.
Goodbye from the big green mage.